This is the Shawn Yankey Show.
And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack.
This episode of the Shawn Yankey Show is being brought to you by the support of viewers like me. We realize the importance of independent media and truth in this time of mass deceit and propaganda. We have decided to fight for and support it to keep it alive. You can help us in this fight for truth. Contribute at patreon.com/Shawn Yankey. Thanks for coming to the show. It'll begin soon.
Something that is very important for you to always remember as you travel along in your life's journey is that you are a work in progress. This doesn't happen all at once. Nothing great or meaningful ever does. You are going to get where you're going, but it's going to be little at a time, bit by bit. And along the way, during that journey, things are going to get in your way. It is going to happen. Accept it. But more importantly, realize that these obstacles in your way and difficulties that you face are nothing more than a crucial part of the process of self-improvement. And remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. What I just said is simple and true, but extremely difficult to not only learn to accept, but to put into practice in your life. It takes work, determination, and discipline to stick with this. But if you do, you will be victorious in the end. But as I said, various things will attempt to derail your plans as often as they have the opportunity to do so. And since that is true as well, it only makes sense that you must adjust your perspective in order to not be overwhelmed by them. It is all in how you look at it, how you take it, how you process the information of what's going on around you. It's just so easy to mentally derail yourself before you ever really even get going. Something goes wrong or doesn't go the way that you imagined it going, and suddenly you find your faith shaken and doubt starts to creep in. This comes from weakness of the mind, from the failure to control your own thoughts and fears, to let them get out of hand and bigger than they actually even are. But it's your imagination, your mind trying to keep you safe and secure, away from any risk. But nothing will ever happen to you there or for you. You have got to fight that urge in your own mind. The moment that you notice it begin to take place, as soon as those defeated thoughts enter, you have got to reject them forcefully. They are lies, and they will hold you back from ever moving forward. This is all really just about mindset. You have got to control your thoughts, or they will end up controlling you. And I think that a good way to do that is to remember to pace yourself. None of this is instant. Nothing is going to happen immediately or instantly. It doesn't work that way. It works that way in fantasy. In reality, things are hard, they're difficult, they take work, effort, time. You have to remind yourself constantly of your goals. Focus on your progress and your growth, not your distance left to travel. Refocus your thoughts when they stray or get negative and defeated. You have to pay close attention to them, or they will run wild. But learn to enjoy the journey. See the struggles as what they are: opportunities for growth, chances to learn, experiences that will in the end make you stronger. This entire journey is all part of your life. You aren't waiting to live once you reach your goals. At least I hope to God that you aren't. This is your life, right here and now. And now is when you live it. You start right now. Live every day to its fullest and just do your very best. That's it. All of this is actually quite simple, really. We just overcomplicate it, or we buy into the lies and make excuses for settling for less out of this life. Convince ourselves that we don't deserve or are unworthy of better. And that's very sad, but worse still is when we end up trying really hard and maybe even sticking with something for quite a while. But along the way, as things keep going wrong and our expectations aren't reached quickly enough, we start to lose hope and begin getting mentally defeated until we finally just give up. But we end up doing that by viewing this whole process as a sprint, by expecting it all to be instant, by being impatient and ultimately unrealistic in our expectations, but mostly by looking at it all from the wrong perspective, the wrong point of view. Focus on the big picture and pace yourself. Keep in mind that the entire journey is all part of the end goal, and every obstacle a necessary step towards where you desire to go. Enjoy all of those steps along the way. Embrace the challenges, face them head on, and always remember that whatever stands against you may win an individual battle, but if you persist and continue to push forward through sheer force of will, you will win the war. You need to remember that you are writing your own story in this life. So take hold of the pen and guide it to where you want it to go. But you can't try to skip ahead in the book. You've got to fill it up first. You can't shoot straight to the end. It is impossible. So live in the moment. But most importantly, live. Enjoy each moment. They are all precious. You tend to lose sight of that, and you will never get any of them back. So you need to pace yourself. This is going to take a while. Enjoy your journey through this life. Enjoy the process. Learn from your experiences, but don't let anyone consume you so much that you lose sight of your ultimate goals. These struggles are in the end only as powerful as you allow them to be. And once in a while, one may knock you flat on your ass real good, but that's fine too. You take a moment, you get yourself together, you get up, and you continue moving forward. It's all part of it, good and bad, and it will pay off in the end. But all of it is in your head. It really is. It's mostly perspective, the way you look at things, your point of view. All of that is in your control. It's your mind. These are your thoughts. You have to guide and steer them, control them, or they will control you. But pace yourself along the way. Learn to enjoy the little things. Learn to search for the good. Believe and have faith. And you can do it. no matter what it is. Anything you desire, you can make real, but you need to learn to enjoy the entire process of it. See it all as a journey and a path. And if you live in your truth and stay on your path, nothing can stop you. But pace yourself. Keep your end goals in mind. Focus on those instead of your struggles and obstacles. And just take your time. Don't end up being defeated. Because if you're living your truth and heading towards your goals, you have already achieved them. So enjoy the journey and keep moving forward and pace yourself. It's a long road. All right, everybody, get in here. It is time again for the Shawn Yankey Show. We started with the video tonight. It is motivation night, but we're going to get right to it and get started. Let me say hello to everybody. We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. It's our second week on our new home on Rumble. And make sure you go over there and check us out and subscribe and follow the channel. Let me say hi to everybody who's here. I'm going to have to go way up to the top. Hey, Helen, Lee, how are you? What's up, Dolores? Edward's here. Roseanne, Tracy. Hey, Patricia, Lolly, Danon, Ginger, Bert. Man, I'm glad you made it, Bert. I was hanging out with Bert during the video. Hey, Aaron, how are you? And thank you for saying that, Joan. Joan's going to have to catch this at the rewatch. Again, you cannot be late. If you're watching this later on, take part. Still take part in the show. Do everything like you're here live. Hit like, hit share, and comment. Take part. At least say hi. I want to know you are here. I love seeing new names. And we had a brand new name at the Morning 8 today, Frazier. But turns out he's been watching the nighttime show. I just didn't know that because I hadn't seen him say hi. Paul's here. Man, that's my partner, Paul. The morning yank was this morning, by the way. I reminded you last night. Did you check it out? Did you get your yank in? It's not too late. You can still get it. You can get a morning yank on a Thursday afternoon. There's no wrong time. And there's no wrong time to share it as well. Make sure you get that out. I want everybody to see that one. But Paul had trouble getting in. A lot of people do sometimes. I'm sorry about that. Our doorman is overly aggressive. He really needs to back off a little and realize we want people in here. We're trying to get people in here. It's the whole point and purpose. Let's see. Nicole, hey, how you doing? Been seeing you in a little while. I seen you at some rewatches. What's up, Nora? CJ's here. All right, Roseanne. I saw you smashing them shits during the video. I really was happy with that video, but there was something in it I wanted to try, and I've been wanting to try it for a long time. And the reason why we started and got right into the video is because I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. And I didn't want to do half a show and then get a copyright kick or strike that kicks the whole show, and we have to start over. So I figured start right away with it. But that was a brand new one, and there'll be many more to come. I want to get back to making more of the original motivational videos. I find that it's actually good for me as well. I need it. I need to do that. Forcing myself to come up with a motivational video for you makes me reinforce that shit in my own mind. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. I'm happy with it. And if it really doesn't get any copyright strikes, I'm going to be super happy with it. And that's something I've wanted to do forever. All kinds of motivational videos, I watch a lot of them, have movie clips in them. Some have actual sound from the movie clip of the actors talking. I've never tried it before because I get a copyright strike anytime I use anything. But all right. I see a lot of you here in two different places. I appreciate that too. like Lee's probably here everywhere. And Joan, she checked in on Rumble and YouTube and Facebook as well. Rumble is got low turnout tonight. I don't know what's going on over there. There's only one here on Rumble. That's the lowest I've ever seen it over there. But, we're bound to have a dud. It's only our second week. This is the link to Rumble. The same show. You won't miss a thing. And you can go over there, and that'll be a way to follow us. And if we do ever get taken down, you'll probably be able to find us there, because they're supposed to have a no censorship policy. And I hope so, because I am paying for that one. That's how to check us out on Rumble. There's a lot of things I picked out to talk about tonight, and a lot of things we can get into, anything at all, but it is motivation night. So we'll be trying to keep a positive spin on things. It's really all I do promise to do. And we discuss things about how to improve ourselves and improve our situation, our lives, all kinds of things, from big to small, everything. And it's all done really in the same way. So it's pretty simple and simplified, but it also is truthful. So no easy fix is pitched around here, because there isn't any. I would be lying to you if I told you there was. Yes, Danon, small successes. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a very good point. And you have a reward system in your brain. You are programmed, or your brain anyway, is programmed to release certain endorphins and chemicals, basically drugs, when you experience certain things and you do certain things. And one of these things that releases a lot of feel-good endorphins is completing a task. It doesn't really matter what it is or how small or any of that. Assigning yourself a task and getting it done releases endorphins and makes you feel good. So small successes are massive successes, actually. They all add up. Ginger's just been taking a huge break from the news, and I don't blame you. I really only focus on it one night a week. I do have news stories picked out to look at, but I don't pay much attention except on Mondays. Monday I look at the most, and I really just do that for you guys, so you don't have to bother with it. You can just check in here and get all your news. Oh, Joan is here? I thought she had said during the video she wasn't going to make it and was going to have to catch the rewatch. Bulls out for Harambe. I can get behind that. I don't think anything's been right since we killed that gorilla, to be quite honest with you. I think that's where a lot of things started to go wrong in a big, big way. Good. I'm glad, Bert. I'm really glad. And I'm glad you like Wednesday. See, there'll be nights for you still. And, what you don't like, it's only once every 2 weeks. So really, you'll be all right. Give you an excuse to maybe learn how to play guitar on Friday nights. Every other Friday night, you can learn 3 chords. Paul will probably teach you if you fill his bowls. He needs his bowls full to have them out for Harambe. You're right, Patricia. Anything, little stuff. Give yourself a task and write a to-do list, and every time you check something off of it, you're going to feel good about yourself. I did it today, and I checked 3 or 4 things off. I felt great. I got a lot done today. Pretty proud of it. I've been having trouble accomplishing tasks lately, but I did good today. Aaron's a bundle of joy most days. Molten lava on occasion. And you're rolling one right now for Harambe? Respect, man. Respect. I'm going to hit my terp pen once for Harambe. Let's take a 5-second moment of silence. It's been a while since I really thought about Harambe. I remember when that meme was this shit. I'm trying to bring it back, adding moon mustaches. Paul told me all about Moon Mustache Man today, and I'm dying to see him. I haven't had a chance yet. I was working really hard on other things, but I plan on finding out more about Moon Mustache Man. Apparently he's racist and very opinionated. Your puppy is missing, not your kid's puppy, that beautiful puppy that you've been sharing pictures of, the gray one. Blue eyes. Maybe stolen. I had a solid black pit bull stolen out of my backyard once. She was awesome. Great dog. I only heard her growl one time. You know, that's a bad rap those pit bulls get. It's bullshit. Not bad dogs, just bad owners. We're actually bred as nanny dogs. That's what they used to be. Patricia says she's got to go back to school tomorrow. And one of her things is learning guitar. I've always wanted to learn that. I really wish I had. I tried once, but I started with scales and overcomplicated it and ended up getting bored with it and selling it, I think, at a yard sale. A buddy of mine later in life told me if I would have learned like 3 or 4 chords, everything would have been different. And I would have really enjoyed playing it and had fun. So I wish I'd have went about it in that way, but I didn't. And I'll have to revisit that one. Another one I'd like to have back, I actually did have it for a little while, but I ended up selling this at a yard sale too, was my drum set. Drums are super fun. I really enjoy those. The sound of guitar is great. Paul's in love with Eddie Van Halen. A lot of people really I like guitar, for sure. I would love to know how to play it. That's a skill that I would love to have. One that you really can't learn much. You can improve. But you need natural talent to really do it super well. Is singing would be awesome. That'd be a great skill to have. I also wish I'd learned to draw. That'd be something I would like to learn. Rose went to the dispensary today and stocked up on lemon dog cookies and moonshine haze. I have to make a trip to the flower shop as well. I also got to stop and get new work shoes. But I don't have to worry about going there till next week. I'm free from there for a whole week on vacation from the man hiatus. Taking a break from that as well. Hey, did you get that job? I didn't ever see if you had gotten it or not. I hope so. That would be awesome. I know you really wanted it. You know, I'm glad, though, that we do this on Tuesdays, because while it is one of the harder nights, especially when we do a new video, because, you know, I put a lot of work into that, the editing and sound editing alone, and the music stuff, but all of it is worth it because it forces me to reinforce that in myself every week. Even just making myself try to be positive for a full hour and reinforces that stuff. Because like I was saying in the video, a lot of it is mindset and just the way you look at things, your point of view on stuff. Because everything will and is going to continue to happen to you. It's really how you react to it and respond that you're in control of. Trisha says, and you probably learn anything like this, to use YouTube videos to learn to play whole songs right off the bat. There's lots of tutorials. And there's much better ways to learn it. Don't learn it like I did, because it was no fun. And you steal the fun from it and overcomplicate it and make it too hard. I saw an interesting story today, just for something different that's not really having to do with all the bullshit, but actually interesting news. Let me show you what I'm talking about while we talk about it. There was a study done on dogs and how they respond to people's voices in the same way that we do. They can sense and tell intent, etc., behind what you're saying, even when they don't understand the words, which I've always known. You know, you can tell that when you speak to an animal, a dog especially, that they understand you somehow, even though they don't understand everything you're saying. They get your vibe and intention. Now science backs that up. I like this kind of science. This is the kind of science I like. I like trusting this stuff. But yeah, so this study is showing that dogs respond to human voice in the same way that we do, and have an uncanny ability to pick up on mood and all kinds of other things through your tone and the way you're speaking. I thought that was neat. I like that stuff. Those dogs are awesome, and they're much better than people in a lot of different ways, but that was cool. I like that. I've often wondered, though, and maybe it's something to do with the way their eyes are made or all of that anatomy type stuff. Probably is. How they know if the dogs can't see color. I've always wondered that. There's probably an answer to that. And I just don't know. I've always wondered it, though. It is that gray one, isn't it? Man. I hope you find it. I hope it wasn't stolen. That's terrible. There was, this is just funny. And, it's not even really noteworthy other than, well, it is in a way. Biden apparently gave remarks today, and he's calling the Kabul evacuation an extraordinary success and blaming any failures involved with it on Trump, of course. But says it marks the end of an era of the U.S. trying to remake country's military. And I don't know how he figures we did that, because they didn't stand very long at all, and everything that we supposedly left for the Afghanistan military went instead to the Taliban. Massive amounts of military equipment, hardware, money, kinds of shit, straight to them. Dogs are fantastic judges of character. If my dog doesn't like you, I probably don't either. I'm going to trust her. Well, I'll be praying that you find that dog, because that's really sad. And that's a beautiful dog, and I know you guys love that dog, so I'll be praying that that dog turns up and it's just missing. Someone finds it and brings it back to you. That's the way I want that to end. But yeah, that's crazy to me. Well, it isn't, because he just says whatever he's told to say, but where are they finding a success in this, and why isn't the media tearing it to shreds and really exposing what happened? We all know the answer to that as well, but it's just sad. Lolly says he's also blaming Americans that are still there for not getting out sooner on their own. Well, they tried flying out even with Glenn Beck, and they weren't allowed to do that. He was trying to get people out. I feel like they should have made an effort, though. I feel like they should have let people know, too, that they were pulling out. They didn't even let the British forces know. Hey, have a good one, Patricia. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Junior says every time a politician opens their mouth, they're lying. That's all they do, and that's what their job is. That's what they're for. Kaylin says, hi, hey, how are you? Lost dog, send the dog a mental picture image to come home. It will help. Dogs are very intuitive. And you're right. See, I completely agree with what you're saying there. The Zionist agenda does want us dead and eliminated by multiple means. I don't feel they'll be successful, but they do. Lee says the left is, mainstream media is turning on them now. They're turning on a lot of people. That's interesting to me. I heard they're turning on Antifa and Black Lives Matter. That's crazy. There's some reason for it. Don't get too excited. There's a reason they're doing that. They don't ever just do the right thing because they want to. Something else that I want to talk about before I forget is I wanted to say that, or request that everybody pray for all the people that are suffering because of Ida, Hurricane Ida, and the damage caused by it. It's awful what's happening. And a lot of bad stuff, man. I saw some stories yesterday that I didn't get to in the news about a big grain supplier that was wiped out. It supplies 60% of the United States grain exports, but still, I bet that's going to have a large effect on a lot of things. And having problems with power, no water, and there is gasoline shortages. Plus, like 15% of the United States petroleum production is wiped or currently not active because of Ida. Shut down is what word I was looking for there. I struggled with the English language for a second, but no, I just thought everybody should know that these people are suffering through stuff there, and that's terrible. I don't know. A lot of times I wonder, I don't mean for this to sound wrong, but whenever I talk about natural disasters such as hurricanes, shit like that, I always give it side eye. I give everything side eye, though I'm skeptical of all of it, but I wonder sometimes how much we're guiding and designing some of this shit. Bert says everything the media does has an agenda behind it. I 100% agree with that. So yeah, the left mainstream media rather turning on anybody. We can get too excited. It's fun to watch, but there's a reason behind it. Babels is here? Someone had a Babel sighting? I thought she was reading. Are you here at the show? She says she isn't here, Lolly. Maybe Lolly's just saying hi to you. She says hi to you, too. She's reading a book. One of the Twilight books. The later ones, though. Not the... Apparently she wrote more. There's another side to the series, I guess. I'm not sure. The law of attraction is very interesting. And a concept I've found to be pretty true. You find what you're looking for and what you're focusing on. That's the way your brain tends to work. Like, a simple way of describing that would be something like you buy something or you get a new car, like a red car, and then you're seeing red cars all the time. It isn't that there's now all suddenly these red cars. It's just you're now noticing them. Your attention's been drawn to it. It's what you're focusing on and what you see. Hey, Lori, how are you? She says her daughter and her partner went to New Orleans for a friend's birthday for the weekend. The drive takes 7.5 hours. They were so scared of the storm, they drove back to Austin. 23 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Did it even storm there? I don't know. I'm not sure. Not as good as I'd like. We're dealing with the Rockefeller medicine system and still awaiting approval for funding for some of the things that she needs done or the pain treatments available to us in that system. I mean, she's moving around a little better, still in a lot of pain, really can't move around for very long, still can't go back to work. So Dana made a comment on Rumble. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been looking at it because every time I checked in there, it was only one there, and I didn't know why. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So it was distracting me, and I was going to come back to it. But hey, Dana, thank you for doing that. Well, we're pretty resilient. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Thank you for that. I saw an interesting story, but apparently I don't know all of the story. I'm going to try to give you the little bit I do know because this was sad to me. They did a documentary or made a documentary about Bob Ross. I really like Bob Ross a lot. I grew up watching him. And Ron, one of my favorite compliments I've ever gotten, has compared me to speaking like Bob Ross anyway. Can't paint like him. That would be neat. Anyways, they made a documentary about him. And they're having problems now because of the rights to the Bob Ross estate, etc. Apparently, the family, part of the family, got swindled out of a large part of the rights, a controlling percentage anyway. And they're fighting this documentary, as well as they've been selling knockoff merchandise and shit with Bob Ross's name on it, etc., other things. It's sad. But, I at first thought that the family was the ones fighting. Bayless explained the rest to me. But there was an interesting thing I did read in the story that having to do with, his son's not even coming to his funeral, but then, getting all the rights to his merchandise. I don't know. But apparently they were swindled out of a large part of his merchandising rights. It is sadly bullshit. So Melissa McCarthy apparently made this documentary about Bob Ross. Bayless watched it. I haven't got to watch it yet. I should probably watch it. I like documentaries. It's on Netflix. And you might want to go ahead and watch it because you might end up getting taken down.
I'm sure it will.
Babel says she's sure. Well, why?
Because the people that own the rights to Bob Ross, they own his name. And a lot of people wouldn't come on camera because the people that swindled him out of his name are big into suing. And that's how they got the rights to Bob Ross. His brother had sold it. So he had to come up with that.
So what she was saying, if you couldn't hear, was that the brother had sold the rights to the name Bob Ross, and that's where a lot of this problem is coming from. So that's why she thinks they may have to pull the documentary. But so I'd probably go ahead and watch it if you want.
Get on there and see it because I'm sure it'll get
I know we'll have to watch it. I'm watching Cobra Kai right now. I don't know if you all ever seen that show. That's on Netflix too. Pretty cool show. It's 20 years later from the Karate Kid movies, and explains quite well that Daniel LaRusso is actually the bad guy in those movies. If you have any questions concerning that, you can find out how that's true by watching it, or just watching the original Karate Kid movies back. Daniel was always picking fights, etc. Paul reminded me of the shit when the prank he played in the bathroom on that kid, looking for a fight. Edward's upset. Man, we got to be positive for a little while longer, Edward. Then I'll get right there with you because people do suck. I almost wore my dogs are better than people shirt tonight. I kind of wish I had because of the dog story. Bert's painting me right now. Well, I want it. How much is it going to cost? Is it even going to be available? You got to at least send me a picture of it. I thought that was messed up about Bob Ross. That sucks. But yeah, Biden is blaming all the bad in what is happening in the Middle East right now in Afghanistan on Trump. But the last soldier has been taken out, and they put out some bullshit picture, night vision goggles, all that, of the last soldier leaving Afghanistan. What's the return date on those tickets, those departure tickets? What's the return date to go back? I wouldn't get so excited about that either. Lori says, big shocker, another family fights over money. I just hate that. I don't know. I don't like that. Because like I said, there was other things in the story that I found bothersome as well. And a little weird. He seems like such a nice guy. I don't know what would have happened with his son to have not come to his funeral. Must have been some, though. Yeah, people with no talent of their own do tend to leech off of the ones that do. Edward says it's motivational night. Fine, I'll be positive. Had a great day. Hey, it's all in your perspective. That's another thing we were talking about in the video. How you look at it. How you perceive things. Things are going to happen. You're going to have bad days and struggle. You can't do anything about that. It's how much power that you give it, that is in your control. Lori says that my father didn't go to his mother's funeral. Full disclosure, if my father was to pass away right now, I probably wouldn't go. I'm not saying I don't understand it. I'm saying it seems out of character from what I know of Bob Ross. But again, they say don't ever meet your heroes. And like I said, there's probably more to the story. That is right, man. I'm telling you, it's all perspective and how you look at it. Your point of view. What do you guys want to get into and talk about? Anything at all? What's been going on? What are you trying to do? What's some of your goals, things you're looking forward to? Some things I'm looking forward to coming up later this week. Tomorrow night is a really fun night. It's Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But Friday night is going to be the first of a bi-weekly thing that we're going to be doing with Ty, Dearest George, and known by many names, Malachi Vade, and many others. Better known to us by his name Ty. That's it. That's how I know him anyway. So I always get confused where I'm actually supposed to call them. Anyways, we'll figure it all out because we're going to have every other week to find out. Ask all kinds of questions, anything we want to know. You'll be coming on regular for a little while. And our first one of those will be Friday night. So I'm looking forward to those two things. And then next Tuesday to the next morning game. But make sure you see today's. I'm really proud of it. I think it's one of the best we've ever done, if not the best. But we get better at it every week. We're gonna figure this shit out one day, one way or another. Eventually, we're gonna get it right. Sarah said she left a comment when I wasn't live. Did I get it? Yeah, and I love those. I love the after the live comments. You don't get a lot of them. We do get a lot of views after the live. Most of our views, actually, on every platform come after the live, but not a lot of comments after the live. I always try to encourage it as much as I can, but, I think people like the interaction of the live show and then, are less encouraged during the replay, but you cannot be late again. And we love hearing from you. Like Lee's putting up some of the names here. We'll get it nailed down, figure out what we're supposed to call them. Paul says canning. Yeah, that's now extremist behavior. And he's a juicer. Don't bother with him. He's got a Pfizer endorsement. But why? They're cracking down on canning. And we know why. Again, we know a lot of what they're doing in their agenda. But they're trying to say it's dangerous to can food now. That's a really good question, Danon. That's something good we could talk about for a little bit. Danon asks, what is our favorite coping skills besides smoking cannabis? Sprinkling a little cannabis on it. And I'm going to get on designing that shirt for you, Dan, by the way. But coping skills, what do you do? I'm trying to think of a good one from me to share with you, something I do. And something I do at work to calm myself down. I have to deal with the public. I work in a customer service job, so I can't get upset or emotional. I'm constantly having to keep myself in check because I'm upset and emotional quite often. I sing to myself in my head, almost constantly at work, but I catch myself doing it in other stressful situations too. And then something I do during the show, or if I'm really stressed out, I catch myself doing it too. Fidget. I tend to fidget with stuff. Count. If I get real upset, count. I don't know. I try a little bit of everything. There was a long time I was struggling real bad. So I had a ton of tips rattling around in my head. I try whatever I can think of, really. When it was real bad, I used to do this breathing exercise I had looked up. I don't know how much it ever really helped. It did seem to help me get to sleep. That would be a good topic to get into. More things you can do to help to cope with things, and as well as talking more like we always do about correcting your thoughts and taking ownership and responsibility, managing your thoughts. Paul pets kitties. That's a good one. I tried to get Babels to let Black Kitty, the baby kitty, the one that got dipped in oil, move into the house. Because I think it wants to. It just keeps sleeping outside the door, but it will never come in. Like the other two, the adult cats, they're braver. They come in all the time, 3 or 4 times a day. That one, though, just stays at the door. Earlier today, she put one paw in, but then back like 3 steps backwards after the other two walked in. She's not ready to come in, but I think she wants to. She sleeps right outside the door. It's always there. Babels doesn't want to deal with a litter box. I told her about the one that I showed on the morning yank last week or the week before that kind of looks like Darth Vader's little place he would go in when the helmet would come off, look like that. And it's badass, and it's electronic, and it scoops itself. But then she's like, well, no one's going to empty the bucket. I'm like, man, you got like 3 kids. Can't that be somebody's job? And you can pay them like a nickel a week. My grandma used to give me 25 cents for a foot rub. Lolly looks up and researches to see if my stress and worry is legitimate. Occupying yourself, keeping yourself busy, keeping your mind busy. That's good. Really, no matter how you do it, I don't know that much or that detail really matters all that much. I think, just focusing on something else. Bert just pisses on the bed of the person who made him mad. That's what my dog does. Bama's got a bed pissing problem. She does that. She is apparently always mad at my stepson and likes to piss on his bed a lot. I don't know what he did to her or what he does. Something. Or she really likes him. I don't know why she's doing it, but she does it. Nora said, smile like the Joker. It helps. You can trick yourself into being in a better mood. Sometimes it's harder than others, but you can do it. I'm not saying I always win, but there are strategies to it. Sarah says aromatherapy is the strongest way to calm. I like that too. I've never been super into it. I did try burning some sage. Someone sent me some sage once. Did try that. Edward uses breathing exercises too. Yeah, different things for different people. You're going to find what works for you. I knew this guy, he had one of them fidget boxes. It was a neat looking contraption, but whatever helps, I guess. Lori likes shopping online. Edward says his old lady is super into oils and has vapes all over the house. Lavender's a good one. He likes that. Nice soap is good. I like that. Nice shower. Some pretty good soap. I got a partnership with Dr. Squatch. I can get you a deal on some soap. Lolly says usually end up down another rabbit hole doing some research. That's good. Keeping your mind busy. That's a good way to do it. Lori says she takes a bath and watches the Shawn Yankey show. Can't beat that. Good idea. You can listen to it too. Did you know that? We're podcasts now. I upload it to Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. It's everywhere. Amazing. So on long trips, you can even listen to the show. Morning Yank too. That's also a podcast. Dana says she reads the Word, plays frequency music. I love that stuff. I do use that. I play frequency music all the time, especially if I'm writing or concentrating on something. I like to use it then. She likes to get cuddles and a hot bath. All those are good. I can vouch for most of those. Whatever works for you, whatever keeps you grounded, do it. As much as you can. You ain't hurting nobody. But little tasks, accomplishing little tasks. Earlier, someone mentioned that. That's really good. It really does. It feels rewarding. It releases endorphins. It makes you happy. Just write a to-do list and check shit off. Write shit you know you'll be able to do. Lolly likes watching movie previews too. Just a preview? You probably watch some of the movies, but you just like maybe make an imaginary movie in your head of how this might play out if you were to actually watch it. Probably be better than the movie itself most times. Paul says mask it or casket, idiots. Again, I don't care what Pfizer's paying you, sir. I can't push that here. I can't let you do that. And since I can't put you solo screen right now, I can't let you push your endorsement. Edward had a rubbing stone years ago when he was trying to quit. Literally rubbed it till it cracked from being too thin. I've never heard of a rubbing stone. I always thought those little balls, those Chinese balls that you roll around your hand, those look neat. Dana says cuddles and hugs release oxytocin, the love chemical. There's all kinds of neat things your brain does, you learn how to use it. So it's probably a good idea you learn how to operate it. Someone's calling Paul on his bullshit. Yeah, he was like that before the juice. Blaming the juice. Laughing. Yes. I love stand-up comedy. Laughing is a really good medicine for stress and improving your mood. That's something I fall back on too a lot, is watching comedy videos. I like Bill Burr a lot. I like to pull up a Bill Burr video when I'm feeling down. Or Rocky. That's why I played it or wanted to use movie clips for a long time, but why I chose Rocky for the first time I was going to do it. I've always wanted to. I love those movies. And I think they're inspirational movies. They always inspired me. There's a Rocky for everything. Laura says when you get down to it, you realize it's all the simple things in nature that makes us happy and content. Never been that big on outside. A lot of bugs out there. I have a mission, a jihad against all bugs. I get in trouble on social media when I talk about it, but I believe they started it, like Daniel LaRusso. They are the bad guys in this. So I don't feel too sorry for them, but I'm really just sick of their shit. They say that heavy metal music is very relaxing, actually. You wouldn't really think that. And that metalheads happen to be cooler and more relaxed people and nicer. As a metalhead, I happen to check a lot of those boxes. But I like all kinds of music, really, except country. I like older school country, but none of the newer stuff. Bert says, F a mask, come to Texas, where a real man doesn't even have to wear one. You might want to get a Quran, though. You're going to have a lot of Taliban refugees running around from Afghanistan that we just flown in. They'll learn some new culture. I just heard that was one of the main places they were going to be dropping a lot of people off, actually. But and mask thing's attractive. Florida's nice, too, I heard, if you don't like wearing masks and shit. Lori likes to go bird watching. I've never done that. I've watched birds. I've looked at them, sometimes for a long time, but never identified different species and stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Edward says, probably just him. He's a squirrely fucker. Speaking of squirrel style, love you, Shawn Yankey. Live your dreams. Yeah, we've been squirrel style for a little bit. Almost all the show tonight. Sometimes I just let that squirrel run wild. You gotta laugh at yourself. Paul says he laughs at himself a lot. That's a good way to be. Don't be too serious. I know, Paul. Paul's always got to call me on everything. I'm aware of that. But Lori likes watching the drones, let her have her thing. Bert says, that's cool. He'll sell them all at Toyota. Well, It's kind of wild, though, isn't it? They flew out 125,000 civilians, and 120,000 of them were Afghanistan. Only 5,000 were United States citizens. They left at least 5,000 there. And apparently now our president's blaming them for that. Lori says she's not buying this bird thing. I stopped conspiracy theories there. I don't either. I think it's hilarious, though. It's very funny. Although it's not impossible for there to be a drone that looks like a bird. That's not crazy. They just go really super far with it. Like Robert, the voice of the show, does our intro. He had a guy on a long time ago. It was a hilarious episode. Best episode of his show ever aired. He believes there are no real birds, that they were all wiped out in the 70s. I listened to the whole thing. It's hilarious. I recommend it to you, but there's a lot of people that do think it. My son was blown away because they were on a national tour recently. That particular group, Birds Aren't Real. And they came here and had a whole event. And I guess he had never heard of it before. And I saw him talking about it on social media. How crazy it is. It's funny to me. I think it's hilarious. I'm in that group on Facebook. It's a huge group. It has 100,000 members. It's funny. Most people are trolling it, though. I don't know if there's anybody in it that actually believes it. It's a fun group, though. Edward said he's got a 4Runner Sport with 206,000 miles, going for 400,000, and it ain't for sale. So sell them those Toyotas. Apparently, they're good cars. Paul says, who's this Paul character? Paul is the Icelandic version. Come on, Paul. Get it right. Straighten up. That's my partner from the Morning Yank, Paul Jones, also known as the Midnight Rider, although he hasn't ridden in a while. I may have to take his title away if he doesn't ride soon. I thought he was going to ride on that Tesla video I made, where he made me make, I should say. He was talking about me taking a hiatus, a week off from the show, but having guest hosts, and he wants to do Friday night. Like, I'm going to give Paul Friday night. He's getting a hard night. He's getting Wednesday night or Tuesday night or news night. He's definitely not getting Friday night. You get a good guest, and he can just lay back, put a solo screen, and go play guitar. I'm not giving him Friday night. Dana says, Paul says the birds aren't real, but is giving the bird in his profile pic. So what's up with that? Make up your mind. It's all that juice you took to the eyeball. It's not allowing you to think straight. But we got a little time tonight. More things to talk about before we wrap up. I want to remind you, though, to come back tomorrow night because it's real fun. Tomorrow night is Conspiracy Theories and Chills. So we gather and talk about conspiracy theories, anything at all. I don't really have a set plan yet. And then Thursday night is rant night. We just rant, vent, get all our frustrations out, and get ready for Friday night, which, like I said before, is the first week of our recurring thing we're going to do with Ty. Theorist George, Malachi Vaden, the man of many names. You all know him. I know him as Ty. He can be on every other Friday. So that's all coming up this week. But we can talk about anything you want and bring it up. I'm looking for something, but I haven't found it yet. I do want to remind you, though, to go over and subscribe to that Rumble channel because I get that Facebook is the most popular platform right now, and everybody really likes it. It's super fun to watch videos on LifeVlog, but I want to eliminate them eventually because a lot of times we can't even have a real conversation around here. You have to talk in code anyway. I'd like to go to more places that don't censor and take down your videos. That'd be nice. All right. I'm having that problem where you're looking for something where any other time you'll find it immediately, but when you're looking for it, it's the hardest thing in the world to find. So I'm going to give up on that and come back over here. Aaron said his kids' Paw Patrol walkies are picking up random people. That'll happen. I had walkie-talkies when I was a kid. They were pretty cool. Did you ever do the cans with the string? It's pretty neat too. I know a place where you can get pretty sweet t-shirts too, Danon. And like I said, I'm going to get you that Sprinkle Some Cannabis on It shirt. But we have 14 original t-shirts, and you can get all of them right here at the Shawn Yankey Show. Hey, while you got a minute, let me talk to you. Do you have excellent taste? Do you love cool t-shirts? Then you need some sweet Shawn Yankey Show swag. And do I have just the place for you? The official Shawn Yankey Show merchandise store. Your home for the best t-shirts, stickers, and cool official Shawn Yankey Show swag around. Check out this sweet tee. Or this premium stylish hoodie. What about this sweet coffee mug? Support our shows and help us grow in style at the Shawn Yankey Show merchandise store. Stick around. Shawn will be right back and there's more show to come. You've never heard of the Midnight Rider? The Midnight Rider is a show that we had here on this channel. And Paul was the host. And he would ride on conspiracies. He'd tell you all about different things, going to break down videos. It was a really good show. But he's busy, he works too much, and he hadn't had time to do one. Paul was wearing his Morning Yank shirt today. It is sweet. All of our shirts are. They're nice. They're premium quality for one, and just great. Just awesome. Best. I want you to have nice things, and that's where you can get them, at the Shawn Yankey Show merchandise store. Aaron said he's wearing his so much, he may need one for every day of the week. And it may need, you do need one for every day of the week. Edward's getting ready to order some as soon as he gets his swag money up. He keeps slacking, but he gets paid tomorrow. He's going to quit messing around, pull the trigger. Man, you need to. Like I said, there's 14 to choose from. I don't even have them all. Hell, buy me some. I need about, 7 more to finish my collection out. Top quality, premium stuff, sweet swag. You're going to love it. Coffee cups even. You can get one of them steel cups. Take your drink, keep it cold, like this, but not this big. They didn't have any 32 ounce. But one day they will. Just like, one day Rumble will be free. Right now it's $24.99 a month though. So, in all seriousness, the merch store is really cool. But if you can support this show in any way, please do. There's many ways to do so. You can find them all at theshawnyankeyshow.com under the Support Us tab. We have Patreon, we have LiberPay, Cash App, PayPal, almost everything. Any way to donate to the show. If you're here on Rumble, they actually have like Super Chat, a version of it anyway, where you can donate right during the show. Lots of ways to support the show. If you can do it, please do. But liking, sharing, commenting, inviting friends, all of that also helps us tremendously. And I appreciate every bit of the support you guys give me and help to keep this going and grow. Edward says that he gave his Bernie money to Shawn on Patreon and his card expired, but he needs to fix that shit and re-up. Hey, I'm a slacker a lot of times too. I put off important shit a lot of times. You know what I find helps? A to-do list. And circling back to what we said earlier and talked about, it's going to release endorphins. It's going to make you feel good. So get you a piece of paper right now and a pen. Right. Fix Patreon on it. Now, this is something that's going to take you 5 minutes, and you're going to be able to mark it off. And you're going to feel good. You get a rush of endorphins. You get something done. It's going to be amazing. Aaron says EPS is going to be real, probably doing a walkout over mandates. They want him to disclose his stance on the juice and subject himself to weekly testing. Went from accountable to slave real quick. That is unfortunate information. So they want you to do a test every week, disclose your stance on the juice. Sounds like they haven't outright mandated it yet. Definitely sounds like they're heading that direction. There's getting ready to be a shortage of nurses nationwide, losing their jobs over refusing to be part of this medical experiment. But absolutely, you're right. Stand your ground, though. It's scary. I understand. Unreal, man. Can you imagine what that would feel like? I haven't been affected in that way, but you read these stories like, nurses have been at their job 15, 20 years, and they're just getting thrown out now. Were heroes a year and a half ago. Now they're pieces of shit because they won't take an experimental juice. I realized something the other day. Patricia said it a while back, and I didn't take it real serious when she said it. But when I say juice, I was listening to the show on the audio version, the podcast version. It does sound like I'm saying Jews. Sometimes it's funny. Once it was pointed out to me, I couldn't stop hearing it, and then it got kind of funny because in the context sometimes. It's interesting. I'm gonna have to come up with a new name for it, new baby talk for the poison they want everybody to inject themselves with. Aaron says, work the system, don't let it work you. And Lori's advice is don't quit, make them fire you. Although I'm seeing that they're finding a way to reject people's unemployment claims if you do lose your job over taking a stand against this juice. Which is bullshit. Lee says, go back to jab. We're fighters. Just call it the jab. Nah. Juice was cute. I liked it, but she's right. It does sound like Jews. Aaron is ready to go. From what I heard, you can sue them, and it isn't even that much. You can do it right at the county clerk's office for wrongful termination. But the courts aren't standing up for people. What are they paying you, Paul? Pfizer. How many guitars have they bought you? Why would you say this stuff? Or do you work for Joe's Strip Club? Or you have some kind of back-end deal with these strippers giving juice jabs? Nora says Juju. Edward said he knows a few nurses that are going to tell him to fuck it. Teachers too, it's coming. I'm here in California. Oh, you're in California? And you have to test once a week starting in October. They are paying for the testing and it's on site. So whatever, fuck them if they try a forced jab though. I will let them fire me and roll on. So many people are being faced with that though. That choice. You know, people will be like, well, they're not forcing you. You man, it's been 15 years building up a... Yeah, they're forcing you. Lori says serve them with affidavits. She's doing it now with the big boys. What happens on September 7th? I saw you the other night mention September 7th, and didn't you also mention September 13th? What do those dates have to do with? Edward says he's going to sue everybody involved. You may see me on the web raising cash for a Supreme Court fight. Stand your ground, man. You know, it's just scary. I feel bad for anybody that's being put in that spot. You know, inject yourself with this poison, this experimental medical procedure, or lose your job. You know, you don't ask any questions either. Don't be like, what happens to me in 5 years? Because they don't know. That's at least what they say. My fear is they do know. And that's why it's so damn important to them that everybody gets it. Edward says, oh, I already showed that one. Nora was talking about across the states, walk out against the mandate. So that's happening on the 7th. That's not that far off. Actually, I think that's my first day back to work. So I get to walk out? Is that what you're telling me? Or is it only places where they're mandating it? All right. Well, that actually brings us to the end of another show. We've ended another show. One more in the books. When we get to 400, we are going to have another event. I'm going to talk briefly about that. We'd like to have one of those every 100 episodes, so we'll be marking that. And like Paul was saying, like maybe a hiatus after that, like a break. I don't know what I would do with myself for the week, but that idea, I like that. Bringing in guest hosts, like the Tonight Show used to do, that'd be neat. I don't know how many people I could get to set aside their night for that, but Paul's not getting Friday for sure. I think Monday. That's the night he's getting news night. He wants Wednesday, but that's fun. And he'll play a replay video. No, he gets Monday. That sounds good for Paul. But I will see you guys tomorrow night at the next episode. It's Conspiracy Theory night, so don't miss that. And make sure to catch that morning eight. Great episode this morning. I'm really proud of it. I want you to catch that and share it out. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.